New York in the 1950s was the setting for a perfect storm of avant-garde activity in the art world. Abstract Expressionism, the first American art movement, was in full swing. Led by émigré Marcel Duchamp, there was an active Dada group. Experimental composer John Cage was teaching at the New School of Social Research. Cage's idea that one should begin an artwork without a clear outcome promoted process being paramount in a work of art. A new art that blurred the lines between music, technology, performance and visual art was emerging. By the start of the 1960s, the spirit of experimentation in the air drew more and more artists to New York to become involved in the energy of this art scene. Concurrently, in Japan, a group of post-World War II artists were also exploring art making, which emphasized relationships between body, matter, time, and space. They called themselves the Gutai Group, and their work included techniques and processes which challenged the priorities of traditional art. George Maciunas, a Lithuanian artist living in New York, organised an arts festival in Germany featuring this new art. He used the term FLUXUS to describe the art-making process. He had defined this art as neo-Dadaism, but Raoul Hausmann, one of the original Dada artists, suggested that Dada was now history. This art was new, and the term FLUXUS was more appropriate. But what was FLUXUS? FLUXUS was an attitude, not a style, a loose association of artists experimenting with new art forms. While the participants often disagreed on the specifics, FLUXUS, like Dada, was also a kind of social experiment. Maciunas' vision for FLUXUS was that it would help change society. Although a cousin to the neo-Dada approach to painting of artists like Rauschenberg and Johns, artist Dick Higgins defined FLUXUS as intermedia. Many of the artists used poetry, music, film, video, concept art, and everyday objects to create new and spontaneous combinations. There was always an aspect of humour in FLUXUS, and shock value was frequently an element. FLUXUS artists often adapted new technologies to create new tools or musical instruments. Shogeko Kubota and Namjoon Paik were the first artists to use video as an artistic tool. German artist Joseph Beuys extended the definition of art with his idea of social sculpture, which recognised everyone as an artist. FLUXUS art had a kind of do-it-yourself approach that preferred simplicity to complexity, spontaneity to formality. To connect with the common person, FLUXUS events were often held in the street, homes or other public spaces. Although he was only one of the active founders of FLUXUS, when Maciunas died in 1978, there was controversy over whether FLUXUS would live on. It was really an academic question, as many of the artists involved continued their artistic experiments and new artists brought new energy to the FLUXUS attitude. Nevertheless, the influence of FLUXUS as a performative multimedia and spontaneous process cannot be underestimated in the subsequent development of contemporary art.